Welcome to the Rock Interview Series with host Thomas S. ORWAT Jr.
Welcome to episode number 56 of the Rock Interview Series. I'm Thomas ORWAT Jr. It is July 20th, 2022, and my guest for this feature is MERCURY, singer-songwriter of the cyberpunk dark synth band Priest. Priest was formed in 2015 and based in Stockholm, Sweden. They wear masks to hide their real identity and are referred to by their stage names. In addition to vocalist and bandleader MERCURY, Priest also consists of two keyboardists, Salt and Sulfer. Both MERCURY and Salt were once members of the Swedish hard rock arena headlining band Ghost. Priest just recently released their third full-length record, Body Machine, on July 15th on CLEOPATRA Records. This very innovative 10-track, critically acclaimed release is causing a huge buzz. Their first single, A Signal in the Noise, was featured in the recent Mel Gibson movie Hot Seats. What follows is an exclusive interview with MERCURY in which he talks about the Body Machine release, the past history and future plans of Priest, and his time in the band Ghost. Welcome to the Rock Interview Series. We have MERCURY, the vocalist of one of the biggest buzz bands out right now. The band is called Priest. They just released a record on July 15th called Body Machine. MERCURY, thank you very much for your time. It's got to be gratifying to see all these amazing reviews on your new record.
Thank you, Thomas, and thank you for having me on your show here. It's a pleasure, and yes, it's been overwhelmingly positive reviews, and we're taken by it, and we suck it in, But and it's it's a lot of hard work went into that album, and now it's finally out, and it's very pleasing to get the many great words you hear about it. It's fantastic, really. So
yeah, I mean, it's really 10 great tracks. I mean, and a lot of people are saying this is not just me. A lot of the interviews that you've been doing recently are with people that aren't necessarily into the type of music that you recorded, but yet they find it fascinating because it's such a great mix of several types of music. I mean, it's been described as like cyberpunk and dark synth, and there's all sorts of different descriptions, and I think because it's so diverse and unique, I think that might be the reason why so many people are excited about this record.
Thank you. We dove back actually today. It's very, very correct. And to find out the different variations of the electronic body music genre that started back then with DAF and Frontline Assembly, Night Cereb, and Front 242. And try to get back to the roots of that and find our own, versions of it. Along with different, and I think, it's different tracks, but it's an homage to all the genres and the bands we grew up with listening to. And next album, we're going to take it a bit further, then we're going to expand more with our own vision into it as well. But I'm glad so many people can find it, exciting with hearing those pretty old genres, but also with a newer touch that we bring to it. And it's a nice way of approaching a record, actually, to do a retro record like this, but try to put on the new flavor and the new gear that you have today on top of it.
Your band Priest will be embarking on a tour in a few days of Europe with Combi Christ. How excited are you to go out on this tour right now?
Super excited. It's we're preparing now, of course, and rehearsing, and we're actually going down from Sweden on Saturday down to Germany, and first show is on Sunday in Hamburg. So we're stoked, super excited, and also very thankful for Combi Christ to give us this opportunity supporting them for this run, which is a great, after releasing a record, having this opportunity is superb. So we're stoked about it. And in the end of the summer, we're also gonna support the Crooks and Frontline Assembly on 4 Scandinavian dates as well. So we're very stoked about that too. So we got the summer pretty lined up here.
Yeah, the question that begs to be answered is, are there any plans to come to the United States to do any touring?
We working on it, and we have a schedule and visas, paperwork, everything is we're working on it, and it looks optimistic. So soon we probably can announce a US tour this fall in October. It will be a shorter tour and a longer one in the spring next year. So if everything goes as planned, but I can't promise 100% yet, because everything has to go through, the paperwork has to be done and everything has to be looked through, but it looks very good at the moment.
Oh, that's pretty exciting. Do you think it's going to be headlining shows, or do you think you're going to be going out with another supporting another band at this point?
Yeah, I think it's going to be headlining shows with a pretty exciting supporting band, and on some shows some local very exciting bands as well. So I can't say too much right now, but I think it's going to be a good package that I'm sure gonna give a really good concert night for those who luckily get tickets to it, if it happens. But we're gonna announce it as soon as we can, as soon as we have the info. So
that's awesome. I want to talk about some of the other band members. So you're the vocalist of the band, and then there's also 2 keyboard players in the band. One is named Salt and the other one is Sulfer.
yes.
And is it true that Salt, he's actually your father? Is that correct?
Yeah, yes, it's a family member since, and we played together before as well, and so you can say that, yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So what is the writing process like in the band?
Mostly I write most of the stuff, like 85% of the stuff, and bring a demo to the studio, which often me and the producer just go through the demo and check it out. Is this melody, does it work or not? Sometimes he's changing stuff and think some melodies can be changed or whatever, so he's often credited as a songwriter as well, because he modifies the composition in some songs. And in some cases Simon himself brings like a bass line or a rhythm that we build a song upon, like a song called Blacklisted on Body Machine. It's actually Simon's groundwork that I did the lyrics and its vocals on top of. So it's mostly me writing, and I write most on guitar and on piano at home. Then I translate it into a very simple demo in the computer, which we later produce. But then the other guys come in and do their magic on top of it, of course, afterwards. Keyboard playing, and that's of course Salt doing his magic. He got way better look into that kind of style. So it's nice to just bring whatever experiences everybody has to the table and try to get an exciting mix.
I want to talk now about 3 of the songs from the record. If you give me some insight into these 3 songs, and these 3 songs are also the songs that videos were made for. I want to start off with the first video that was put out, which came out in December of 2021. A Signal in the Noise, and that song is a great lead-off track, and it also appears in the Hot Seat movie, which is a Mel Gibson movie that came out. So first of all, how exciting was it to get that song in that movie?
It's fantastic. When we first started to talk about it, it was it's super exciting. You grew up with Mel Gibson, right, and watch his legendary movies, and and then on top of that, it was a cyber thriller with hackers, bomb squads, and very, very much in line with what we're doing as a band. Like, so it was a perfect match, and we're super excited. Still can't believe it. Still doesn't stream in Sweden yet, though, but it's in theaters and streaming in the US at the moment, I think. So go watch it. I will watch it the first opportunity I get. Maybe I'll download it and watch it. I don't know. So I'm super excited about it, but I will wait until it's streamed, so it's getting legally done. But super excited, and it's such a big opportunity, and we're very thankful to everybody involved in it, and for choosing A Signal in the Noise as the first song you hear when the credits come up. It's and having that song on the soundtrack, it's a big opportunity, and we're stoked about it, of course.
Yes, absolutely. And for the actual music video, you were the director of the music video for that.
Yeah, I did. I directed that one. Yes, yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. Because the next two videos you weren't the producer for. Was there a reason that you decided not to produce the next video, which was Techno Girl, which was released in March of 2022?
First of all, it's I didn't have the resources to do a video like that. It's Vicente, the director in Hollywood, did an amazing job for the sequences with the protagonist, the girl in the video, and another guy, Claudio, did the scenes with us actually in Sweden. So we were in two separate places. We cut it together, the video later on. But I am very pleased with that one. It's a superb video, and yeah, it was a smooth operation, to say. And I, of course, was busy with a lot of other things. I would love to direct more, but I simply don't have the time to do it. But I will do some more in the future, and I have an idea for a future video for the next album, which I'm storyboarding right now. So we'll see how it goes with that.
That's incredible that you're already thinking about the next record when this one just came out last week.
Yeah, it was so much delays, with the vinyls and vinyl pressing and everything. So we had a lot of time in the studio just recording, and we had a lot of material since the Corona. So why not just keep busy and record? It's a nice thing to do. But we're super stoked about, of course, Body Machine coming out now. It's finally, it's like a relief, to finally have it out.
Yeah, on Cleopatra Records, nonetheless. This is their first release on Cleopatra, and great label, has released some great records over the years. So that must have been quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, thanks, and they really know their stuff, and we're super pleased with working with them. It's great, really, and Brian and the other guys, super nice people, and we feel very welcome, and we really hope that it's going to be a really long partnership between Priest and Cleopatra. It's a perfect match, actually.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the last video that was released on the day that the record came out, Nightcrawler. Now that's a great video. I mean, that could almost be like a movie in itself,
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was a fun production, and Claudio Marino directed that one. I helped out a lot with it also, but it was a really fun video. I'm very pleased with the result, and it's a little darker side of Priest that is presented in that one. But I think it's fun, it's entertaining, and in the future going to see maybe more of that, but also a lighter side of Priest. But it's important to show the different stages of what we are about. So the underbelly should be there as well, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what Nightcrawler is about.
Yeah, I mean, the music really goes hand in hand with the videos, with the visuals and everything. It definitely is obviously a visual band with you guys in costume and that. So I mean, it really adds another dimension to the music and almost takes it into like the next level. And I think that the combination is just, you know, I think that's part of the reason why there's such a buzz on your band right now.
Thank you very much. And yeah, thank you for saying that. And I agree also with us having a pretty recognizable image is helping us a lot, because you remember, if you've seen the pictures, you remember us, and then it's up to us to deliver the goods sonically as well, you know. And I think it's one of the best things in life is to write songs. I think that's so rewarding to do. So I'm doing it all the time. So and I learned a lot in another band with the masks and everything. So it's when Priest came together, it was like, oh, I take the best parts of all the stuff and experiences I've had so far and put it into one project, and all my interests as well. So I'm in a very good place right now, creatively, and yeah, I'm very satisfied with what Priest is at the moment. So we're doing our best, and I think the best is yet still to come as well. Even if we think, you know, Body Machine is a kick-ass record, we really love it, and we're not surprised, but we're very happy that many other people, you know, seem to agree with us on that one.
Yeah. Well, what direction do you think you're going into? Do you think it's going to be heavier on the newer material you're writing, or do you think you might implement like maybe like guitar in it?
On the next record, Body Machine 2, which we recorded actually, gonna soon be ready for mix, but I think we're gonna change some, you know, melodies and maybe some lyrics here and there on it when we're back from touring. But it's definitely going to be harder and faster than Body Machine. So it's heavier, harder, and faster, and with some of the classic pop tunes on it as well. It's going to be like Body Machine, but, you know, Technicolor widescreen version of it. You know.
The band musically has really evolved a lot since your debut record in 2017. I mean, each record, I mean, you know, there's like, you know, definitely you can see you climbing up to like a rung or a couple rungs at a time.
Thank you. We're trying to reach the level of, the goal is to reach the level of cutting edge, but that's big words, you know, that's very big words, and not sure if we can you know, fill that, you know, suit. But we went from really retro until less retro, and now we are at Body Machine, still retro, but with learning a lot during these recordings, and soon it's time to try to step out, you know, into the unknown. But we're gonna do 3 records called Body Machine 1, Body Machine 2, and Body Machine 3. So it's gonna be a trilogy. After that, it's an album that's gonna be way more, you know, different in style and visually as well. So we have already started sketching on that one as well. So we are a couple of, you know, many ideas into the future here, but it's better to start early so you have a solid idea when that time comes, so you don't stand there, you know, oh, we have to have a new mask for, you know, Sulfer here, or it's better to just have the processes you know, running.
So you plan on having the image also evolve along with the records?
This image we're planning to have along with the Body Machine records. Maybe we're going to modify it. It's going to be punkier, and of course the suit's going to be more decayed during the whole era of the 3 albums. So maybe in the end of Body Machine 3, we're gonna be really worn down, you know. But after that, I think the album after that's gonna be a really big change then. So, because I think EBM, electronic body music, is about, it's about punk and it's about funk in the beginning, and you mash, but you do it with electronic instruments. So we want to be a bit punk here with these 3 albums with the spikes, you know, leather jackets. But later on, hopefully we have ideas for new designs which is going to implement a lot more technological and elements in them, and maybe we can expand the show also a bit more with new technology. And that's our goal. Our goal is to go full on high concept technology with our live shows. So along with the music. So we'll see where we land. We'll see how. We're very thankful for the reception of Body Machine here. So that's the one big step at the way, and big thanks to Cleopatra and, you know, everybody involved. So we just want to reach that level that we can give you all a really badass, high octane, futuristic live show, you know.
Yeah, I want to talk about. I want to go back to the beginning of your career. How did you get involved in music to begin with?
One band in my hometown lost their bass player, and I was bold enough to say, "Oh, my mom has a bass at home, and I can bring it to the rehearsal the next day." And on that road it is. But I always had music in the family, and I played like clarinetto and stuff when I was a kid as well. So I had some background with playing music also. But it started when I was 13, I think, 13, 14, started playing bands, and I played in bands ever since. So I think it's a very fulfilling, nice way of, you know, communicate with other people, to play music together, you know.
Mm-hmm. And we haven't mentioned the name Ghost yet, but you were a member of Ghost for a few years.
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you? I mean, that was a band that was, you know, really starting to gain some traction, especially in North America.
Yeah, and it was during that time it was growing the most, maybe. It was during touring the second album. So it was one day it could be clubs or venues, 500 cap venues, and next day it could be Lollapalooza main stage in Chicago. And, you know, it was, and Rock in Rio also. Then back to like 700 cap. And so it was really like a roller coaster, and it's very fun, surreal. Met all the, you know, legends and cool bands, and yeah, learned a lot. I learned the rules of rock and roll, you can say, and how life is on the road. Everything was, you know, because I was more or less a rookie when I joined, and after I was pretty much know what it all is about, you know, all the fantasies about how it maybe would be was torn down, and now I saw the reality of what it is. But it's super fun, and it's the most fun thing in the world, but it's very demanding as well. So
yeah,
that was the outcome of it.
One of the things with Ghost is that other than the main member, Tobias Forge, the other members really never got any, weren't really involved. You didn't even have names. You guys were known as like nameless ghouls. Was that frustrating for you not to get your name out there while being in one of the biggest bands out at the time?
I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, I didn't actually mind so much. I still don't mention my names. For me, it's a very fitting concept, and that's why I wanted to continue with it. So personally, I'm not like, oh, here I am, I want to be famous, you know. So for me, it wasn't that big of a deal, but I don't know, I can speak for anybody else, you know. in the band.
Now it seems like you really, try to protect your actual personal life, or kind of like Kiss did back, like, when they had the makeup on back in
Yeah,
the 70s. Has there been people that have tried to like publish photos of you or anything like that?
yeah, of course. But I say like this: we won't from our channels out the members ever. I think, but it's very easy to do the detective, work and find it out. It's just you can Google it. But but I think there are some people out there that don't want to know and maybe keep the mystery, and we won't spoil it for them. If you want to know who we are, it's very easy to find out. But we're not gonna put it in anybody's face who we are. And I
Yeah.
think it's a nice, it keeps a little mystery, and some days you can be a little paranoid, and this helps, not being recognized. Not that we are that big anyways. Nobody remembers who the drummer in, one of the world's biggest band, Coldplay, looks like, right? Or what his name is, maybe. I don't know. It's not that important, actually, I think.
Have you ever regretted going with the the mask image? I mean, especially like, some of these shows that you're going to be playing, especially now with the heat wave over in Europe. I mean, you're going to be like, it's going to be pretty uncomfortable, I would think.
Yeah, and that's yeah, so I agree with you. It's super sweaty, but the best thing is it's only for me. That's only the uncomfort is only for me. Nobody else have to see it.
Yeah.
So I hide it and I suffer behind the mask, of course, but nobody else have to see it, and that it gives me a little comfort, So, but as long as I don't get electrocuted with the eye here or something, that I get like my eye electrocuted, I'm happy.
Is that difficult? I mean, is that distracting having that light there? Because you can't see out of your one eye, right? Because that's blocking your eye.
Yeah, it gives you something with depth vision of depth. So sometimes you don't see exactly how close or far away you are to something, so you bump into something maybe, but you manage. It's it's a stage. A stage is not that. It's manageable.
I want to go back to Ghost. There was a recent interview that you did, and well, actually, a few interviews you've done where you've talked about like after you were fired from Ghost and you had to go for therapy. First of all, tell us about how you were fired from the band. I mean, did you see it coming? And was it out of the blue?
For me, it was out of the blue. I didn't know about it. I thought the call was finally to get the final demo so I can start rehearsing the bass lines for the recording of Meliora, the third album. That was what I thought the call was about. But after 10 minutes talking, then it just came out of the blue that I was out of the band. So that was a surprise. Yeah, I must say, for me.
What were some of the reasons, or what was the reason for it?
It had to do with my playing, actually, frankly, but I couldn't recognize why, because the reason was that I stopped playing for some reason. And I said, what? No, I don't know what you're talking about. This is a fun thing. Later on, when the next bass player was playing in the band, and we had production rehearsals, and this was what I found out, told by the member that still was in the band, and that was like in the back line there was a cable that was a glitch in that made it in-ear in the singer and some other guys' ears, like the bass channel was flipping on and off in their ears, not in the PA system or anything, but in their ears. So it could have been a technical problem that was not outspoken. That it could have been, because if you watch the live shows, if you watch the live shows, you can clearly see that. I haven't watched all of them, but I don't stop playing, you know. That's bullshit, of course. So there was some reason, but I don't know actually. What can you know? No, and you know, and I didn't say like, oh no, I don't find me. I said, okay, you seem to already have decided, so I'm not going to argue with you, and you know, that's that. Take care. Good luck.
And then as far as like having to go to therapy for 6 months after that.
Yeah, but that was like 30 minutes once a week, so it was not like I was not in a institution or something like that. It was fairly like, and it was not only about ghost or anything, you know. It was the life situation, big change, you know, and not have a job at the moment, everything. Yeah, and you can feel that you're pretty much down at the moment. So to talk to someone in a situation like that is just good, I think, and I recommend it to everybody out there. If you know, have the opportunity to speak to someone outside of the group of people you're in, that can be very good, and it helps for me. So, but it was not very dramatic, no medicines, and you know, no electric treatment or whatever, you know. It was only conversations, like regular half an hour once a week.
Was it very motivating to kind of like get your revenge and, you know, start your own project, the show, you know, the music world, what you were capable of doing?
But I wrote some songs back then, you know. I wrote a song called History in Black, a priest song, which can be translated to something, but that one I wrote like in the weeks, like a week after that happened. So, and it was released in the mid 2017, like 2.5 years later, and then everybody, oh, they're bashing Ghost, or like I've already forgot about that. It's like back then it was already 2.5 years, like after I moved forward quite fast after that. So, and today I don't, you know, think about it that much. It's but when you ask, I go back, and I have nothing to hide, so I gladly talk about it. So
Really kind of benefits you though. I mean, with Ghost, you know, becoming so popular, because I mean, that's kind of the hook that gets a lot of people into Priest. You know, it's like, oh, ex-Ghost member.
yeah.
And then from there, they listen to the music and then they're totally blown away. And then they forget about Ghost, and they just care about Priest then, and care about
Exactly. And that's something good. And you know, we knew from the start that we need to use the Ghost card, because yeah, for one, I was a part of Ghost. I, in my way, helped building the brand Ghost, in just even if it was for a brief time. And now other people involved in Priest also did a fair share of building Ghost. So why not take advantage of that and use the PR to skip some years of doing, you know, really small gigs, small venues, try to gain attention. If you already have like a free card to a certain level, but that's not enough. You have to deliver something. You can do the PR, but you have to back it up with quality, and that's what we are more about. We use both, and I think, yeah, and if we can gain some fans over, you know, that's just a good thing.
connection to Ghost will, you know, only get you so far, but it'll get people to at least, you know, maybe, you know, click on a link. And then from there, yeah, you have to deliver, and you certainly have delivered. So I mean,
Thank
you know,
you.
oh, you're welcome. I want to talk about the very first record that Priest put out. It was called New Flesh, and it was released in 2017. You weren't the lead vocalist on that particular record. What happens to the vocalist that you had at the time? And did you have any reservations on taking on the duties of lead vocals after that person left the band?
Yeah, it was Yeah, I did lead vocals on a song called Nightmare Hotel on New Flesh. So one of 10 songs I did, but the former lead vocalist, and you know, he decided to quit for personal reasons, and he did it after I had to take the decision to fire one of the other member in the band, because it was, yeah, for reasons we don't have to go into right now, but it was after many discussions and, you know, conversations, and things didn't get better, so eventually you have to, you know, but it seemed like the former lead singer and had got very close connected with the guy I fired, so he chose to probably take his, you know, side. And suddenly, you know, you're standing there, you have booked tours with, you know, Aesthetic Perfection, and, you know, you have festivals booked, and to pull the plug was to pull the plug out of the whole project. You know, you can't just, you know, cancel everything and try to get back. So it was back in the saddle that was the only option, and we really tried to get another singer at first, and, you know, word got around. I used all my contacts, but nobody could do it with such short notice, and, you know, knowing all the songs. And I'd done a bit of singing before, so I just jumped on the saddle and did my best. Now, over 3 years later, I'm very comfortable in the position, but it was a shaky ride, I can assure you. But it had to be done, otherwise I don't think Priest would be around right now. But now I'm pleased that we went through that bumpy ride and ended up where we are today. But it wasn't easy. It was a lot of, you know, anxiety and stress and, you know, everything. But with right focus and determination, you can go through stuff like that. And here we are. And now I'm more excited about the future than ever. So it's yeah, I'm it was hard times, but now we're here.
Yeah, well, they say everything happens for a reason, and especially it seems like it's working out for you. I mean, every little like little hiccup that you face, it seems to be, you know, working out. You know, something really good comes out of it, and, you know, especially with the Body Machine record, with the reviews it's getting, and it's such a solid release. I mean, just 10 tracks that just, I mean, there's not a weak moment on that. And like I said, I mean, it isn't the type of music that I listen to, and I think a lot of the people that are, you know, interviewing you are in the same boat I'm in. But I mean, the music's just fascinating. It really is. I can't, you know, recommend this enough to the people out there. You know, check it out, and it's like it just hooks you right away.
Thank you very much. It warmed my heart to hear, and thank you. And we sincerely think it's something in there for everyone. And even if you're, you know, especially maybe if you're into that kind of music, but we also come from another background with, you know, playing metal, and, you know, Simon was in a hardcore band before, and I played some in some guitar-based bands as well. So we have an approach that maybe connects, even if you not into that kind of music, you can still hear the also influences from, you know, more metal and rock styles in there, even if the instrumentation is totally different. So and hopefully you can hear that through, and we're very grateful for all the great reviews we have on Body Machine. And yeah, it's
yeah,
okay, it's really great.
Well, Mercury, I want to thank you again for your time. I mean, this was a really fascinating interview, and I want to end the interview. If you could just tell me, like, what was the most positive takeaway from being a member of Ghost for you?
Yeah, the experience and the knowledge you gain. And of course, I wouldn't sit here in a mask without being a Ghost. I didn't want the party to stop, you know. I had a really fun time, and made me continue with this project, you know, and that says a lot, I think.
Have you had any contact with Tobias after you left the band?
No. Once back in 2015. like, yeah, end of 2015. At a homecoming, you know, Linköping party. And what's that? What we said then might better as well not be said out here. But yes, both yes and but completely no as well. I don't have any contact, and I'm not, you know, if yeah. So the answer is no.
If you were offered a opportunity to play a gig where Priest played with Ghost as a like an opener, would you accept that?
In the best of worlds in the future, yes, but as things looks today, no. I'm not closing any doors. It's complicated with a bunch of factors and parameters in the whole thing that not only concerning me. That's
I see. All right. Well, again, Mercury, thanks again, and best of luck. And like, man, I hope you get to North America, like you said, you know, hopefully in the fall or sometime sooner.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to see the
can't
band.
wait. Finally, it would be the first time over the pond for Priest, so we're really stoked about it. We really just cross our fingers here to make, and really struggle to make it happen. And we are coming over sooner or later, and you know, it's gonna be a blast. We're gonna deliver a high octane show for you guys over there, and it's gonna be awesome.